When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to George Daniel Stadium and Lorain High freshman football as the Titans get set to get this one under the way. We'll get the quick kickoff, and it'll be mishandled down at about the 15-yard line, picked up, and heading the other way is Justin Watley for Cleveland Heights. Heights comes in today 3-5 on the season, the freshman team under the direction of Jason Wilson. Partner today, Tom Bauer. Tell you what, this Lorain squad has a lot riding today.
I tell you what, all levels. Levels.
Oh, yeah.
The freshmen here are 9-0, going for the conference championship. The varsity will be playing for a conference championship tomorrow night. The JVs are 5-2, so the programs in Lorain are on their way up.
And you take that a step further with that varsity game on Friday night. They'll be making the trip out to Cleveland Heights. It's conference, but it's also the opportunity to host potentially in Week 11.
And it's been a long time coming. A long time coming.
Has.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. Everyone knows. They just don't know their opponents yet.
So we'll get at it here. Quarterback may have swapped out already. Handoff is going to go right up the middle, and trying to bounce it to the outside is Chris Edwards. Edwards and Watley are going to mix it up, and on the defensive stop, I think for Lorain High, that was Walker pushing the edge, wasn't it?
No, I think that was T.Y. Lightly.
Okay.
I wanted to mention his name a lot today. I think he's a big-time receiver for them, and I think he's one of their best defensive players. And goes by the name of T.Y.
T.Y.
Talked to him yesterday. He said, I'm the other Deshaun, so just call me T.Y.
All right, I'll go with that. I got no problem with that. Just a pickup of a couple. It's going to bring up a second down and a long 7, short 8. Take your pick. We'll give him a pickup 2 on that one. Come back out with a full backfield here. Splits on either side. Lorain High with a 3-down lineman ready to get at it. Flags fly.
That's the first time I've seen a quarterback catch the flag. Kept it off that muddy turf.
I suppose the officials appreciate the that they don't have to bend over. Now, you were talking to the official a little bit earlier. You know some of those guys.
I do. I know at least one of them because he's an old wrestling official, Randy Green, and an old Lorain High graduate. I coached him in 75, but don't say that.
75? That's before my time even. All right, they'll back it up 5 on the procedure penalty. 8:38 left in this first quarter. They're looking to throw the ball, have a receiver across the middle, just off the hands of the intended receiver, Edwards, and will fall incomplete. Had decent coverage downfield, but they kind of split those deep backs.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do.
That little seam in there in between the safeties. Yeah. I think if he'd have caught on to that ball, he had big-time yardage and maybe all the way.
He was going a long, long way if he'd have held on to that one.
And nice arm for a ninth grader, too.
Agreed.
We'll see a little bit of him.
I was going to say we're going to see two pretty good freshman quarterbacks.
From what I heard, yes.
We'll get back at it. Watley wants to throw, gets hit as he releases it. That one's going to be picked off at about the 36-yard line. And that was your buddy, wasn't it? That was Lighty.
That was T.Y., yes. And I think he's even moved up to the varsity for a game or two, just to, I don't know what his position was up there, defense or offense.
Well, he's there, which is the big picture. They'll spot the ball at about just inside the 37-yard line for Lorain High. We're going to get another opportunity to check this play out, and you'll see the pressure, and that's really what set up this interception, that he got hit, the ball sailed. He just made a really good play downfield.
I think that's a ninth-grade quarterback throwing the ball when he should have probably just ate the ball,
Yeah, absolutely. You get the turnover, which I suppose, at some level might be as good as a punt, but we're going to get at it here. Lorain High is going to get on their offensive side of things. A little bit of a reverse action coming around the edge as Lighty wants to find the corner, has the corner now, works upfield, is going to have first down yardage and then some. A little bit of a horse collar bringing him down. They're not going to drop the flag on that, but that's a pickup of about 13 on a first down carry.
Yeah, two-sided offense and defense for the young man. Now I mentioned he moved up for at least a varsity game or two. But this ninth grade has a couple other ninth graders that are starting for the varsity.
Now, that's a pretty big deal, and you think about the fact that these guys are 9-0, Tom.
Yes.
And missing those level athletes. We'll get right back to the action here. Handoff's going to go right up the middle. I want to say that was Nelson, busting up front. In fact, it was the case. He was brought down after a short pickup, but a significant one. The guys on the sticks over on the far side are having a little bit of a problem.
You know, at this level, you always have stick problems because those are just 3 kids that just got yanked out of the stands.
They said if you gave them a cup of hot chocolate, they'd do it. And I don't blame them for that. It's a little bit chilly here. First real cold week of the year. Back to the action. Little pitch comes around the near side, and that's going to turn into something positive. Jeter's going to get dragged down out of bounds, but near the 10-yard line, maybe mark it at the 11. So that's a pickup of about 8. Should be a first down. So 3 plays, and you're going to get your second first down. And there's nothing fancy about this from an offensive standpoint. It's just pitch and try to get outside. Back at it, little misdirection, handoff right up the middle, into the end zone from 11 yards out goes Tyshawn Nelson. He wasn't touched.
You know, we know what's nice about this level. You're watching this offense. This is exactly the same offense that the varsity runs with.
Right.
The same alignment, the same calls, the same everything. So Dave McFarland's working a program all the way up and down the levels.
But isn't that the way it has to be?
Yeah.
If you're going to build for the future?
I think yes and no.
You can disagree with me.
I think yes and no. I'll tell you after this play, I think I'll give you a little bit of my opinion.
All right. They go for the 2-point extra point here. Go for the ball. Quarterback's going to roll off to his left. Wants to tuck. Could have tucked. Flipped it into the end zone. Boy, nice pass from Jackson.
What a beautiful.
Out onto the edge, and Lighty there to bring it in.
You know, I coached varsity football for a long time and then went into the junior high after I retired. And I always thought the job of the junior high person was to teach those kids to like football, tackle, block, just, that kind of attitude towards football. And sometimes their level isn't up to what the varsity can do.
Okay.
So you have to do everything with the same names and everything just so they're familiar with that. But you're not going to plug your kids into the varsity lineup. But when you get to 9th grade, now you have to be the same because that 9th grader got plugged in, and he had to be able to, run a week of practice and know everything they're calling. So, in that level, yes. The junior high, I think sometimes you just have to teach those kids to like football and all the basic skills.
The basic skills are to be safe and to be healthy and do things the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a couple of really good looks there at how those young players are putting that work into play. We're going to head the other way, and this may be a big return here for Cleveland Heights. In fact, it is.
Yeah.
Justin Watley is going to take it up near midfield. We'll see where they step him out. Looks like he's going to be at the 47-yard line. That's phenomenal starting position.
On a long kick for a 9th grader because a lot of these kids, this is their first time this season kicking off.
Right.
Junior highs, they don't do that. They just start the ball in the 35 each time. So this is a new concept for them kicking off. But, of course, they have 9 games under their belt, so they're pretty used to it by now.
8-0 in favor of Lorain High. 7:13 left on the first quarter clock. That first drive for Lorain High, 4 plays, 37 yards, a minute 7 off the clock. Looks as though Cleveland Heights is going to spread things out here just a little bit. They'll run a couple different guys at the quarterback. Tough time on the handoff. Somehow Watley comes away with it. He's going to turn it off into a big rip here. He's going to be close to 20 yards by the time everything's said and done.
Watley looks like a bull of a runner, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's shaking off tacklers all the way up and down the line.
And you look at the way that play started, and the pitch was a little awkward. The exchange was a little bit awkward. We'll get a chance to take a peek at it here, courtesy of Joe Bach and his fine staff. He took that ball off of his hip, spun. Look at him, he's pointing out block.
And he got a nice block from that. The wide receiver that he pointed to got a nice block on that, too.
First down and 10. They'll spot the ball at about the 34-yard line. It's just going to be a keeper. Nothing fancy here. Watley's, check that, not Watley. That's Jamal Smith. Smith will try to find the edge. And, boy, now there is a great lesson in football in moving laterally down the line, Tom.
North and south is the way you go. Yeah, whatever you can make that cut, you got to do it. But this is still what we call that old junior high sweep. You try to get around them.
Yeah.
It takes a while for a running back to really learn. You got to find your hole, and you got to get north and south.
And you see the Lorain High defenders working straight down the line, keeping it right in front of them. You had a couple different guys out there. Lighty was out there. I think Anderson was part of that wrap-up as well. Second down and 10. Shotgun snap goes back to the quarterback. This is a keeper. And Moving forward is Laurel Cole, and a flag is going to be a procedure penalty dropped along this near sideline, along the Lorain High sideline. So back him up.
I don't think he had the sticks, but it would have been pretty close.
So they'll step off the 5 yards.
You know, these big Division I schools coming in, Cleveland Heights has 3 junior highs that feed their program, whereas Lorain has 2 junior highs that feed. And next year they'll have 3 when Whittier comes back online, or Southview. But it takes some time to learn it, but you have kids that have been playing, and you have 3 quarterbacks, you have 3 tailbacks, you have 3 receivers. So, I mean, it's an advantage when you have multiple junior highs feeding into your ninth grade.
I agree. And you get a cluster of skill sets.
Yeah.
4 receivers off to the short side of the field. Ball's on the right hash. You want to throw back across. Big pressure up the middle. They'll float it up there anyway. The ball's going to spend a ton of time in the air. And that's just good defense. That's basically a center fielder, as we're seeing from the Tribe and the Cubbies. You get those guys out there bringing those balls down and at least making plays on them. And I think he saw a really nice job out there that time for Lorain High.
But he put the ball 40 yards in the air.
Well, good point, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Davion Anderson got out there and knocked that one down. Nice pressure right up the middle, forcing him to move out of the pocket. And you're right. That's a chuck.
That's an arm. That's an arm for a ninth grader. We'll see how the Lorain kid, when he gets his opportunity to start putting the ball, they've been running till the extra point, but I'm sure he'll do their share of throwing.
See what Heights has here. They're going to go with a little bit of a different formation. Watley's going to be the quarterback, looks into the flat, gets pressure. He's going to work upfield, gets cut.
Well, that is a nice tackle.
It was, right at the original line of scrimmage. Nice job coming up. And, you've got a guy that's just running through people. And I want to say Michael Smith may have made some contact up there. You drop him at that original line of scrimmage, and you end up on a 4th down and a little bit better than 10. What are the Tigers going to do?
I'm thinking they're going to go deep to that same pass they had before.
Here you go. 3 right, 2 to the left. Watley, the quarterback, rolls to his right. Good man coverage downfield. Steps up, throws it downfield again. Great coverage in the middle of the field. LaCoy Walker got a big mid on that and just knocked it out of the air.
I don't know if that's their standard or because they're just getting such a rush. Did you notice how the quarterback lines up about 4 yards deeper than a typical varsity quarterback does? And I'm sure that's because blocking skills on the line aren't as good in the ninth grade as they are as you get up in the levels.
It's kind of like he's lining up in the old school shotgun as opposed to the new school pistol.
Exactly. Yeah, he's 7 or 8 yards deep, but that gives him that extra second or two that he needs.
All right, they'll spot the ball at the Lorain High 33-yard line, and the Titans will take over with 5:20 left in the quarter. Second possession of the ball game. Pitch goes to the right side. Lighty is going to end up throwing it downfield. Has a man there, and we're going to head the other way. This could turn into a big gain or may turn into a touchdown. Looks like it will. Jeter is going to take it into the end zone for the touchdown. That is a long play. I mean, you've got the toss, you've got the pass, you've got 67 yards and 6 points.
I mentioned they're doing the same exact thing that the varsity does, but I've seen 2 trick plays so far that the varsity hasn't ran yet. Now, I don't know. I seen Coach McFarland's down on the sidelines. I wonder if he's putting this in his playbook right now.
Wonder if it's already in his playbook and he's testing it out tonight against what they're going to be playing.
I hope.
Boy, what a nice job that time by Jeter. Once he had the ball, just shot up the sideline. I mean, that's a 12-second, 67-yard sprint. And you got to add in the motion on the play. Pass goes toward the back of the end zone, caught there, and they're going to say no. I thought yes.
He caught the ball, maybe out of the end zone.
All right, Lighty couldn't pull that one down, so the 2-point extra point is a no-go. That'll leave it at 14-0 in favor of Lorain High, a 1-play drive. I can do those kind of drive summaries anytime. 67 yards, and boy, you talked just a moment ago about throwing the ball, and it wasn't the guy we anticipated throwing the ball.
But you can see that pass that for the extra point,
Yeah.
He had a nice touch on the ball.
Good
that
point.
little fade is a hard pass to throw.
You're right.
Yeah, and he threw it, and of course he was 1 yard over the back line, but didn't count. But it was a nice pass.
It was very nice. Yeah, you'll. You're right.
I'm looking forward to this kid doing a lot as he moves up the levels.
14-0 in favor of the Titans with 5:08 left in this first quarter. The Heights guys got here kind of late. Good, not another solid kick. It's going to be fielded about the 20-yard line. Bring it up along the near side.
Yeah.
Trapped and dropped from behind was Watley. And good performance there by the coverage team. I want to say that was Leaper that made the initial contact.
But it was a nice low tackle.
It was.
Because it looked like Watley's their main man. He catches every kickoff. He's running the ball all the time.
He's a big kid, too.
Big for a ninth grader. No, we don't have weights and heights and those kind of things in this kind of roster. But
we don't have a roster. We have one roster. We don't have the other roster.
Yeah.
So if we miss a couple names, to Cleveland Heights fans that are checking us out, absolutely.
Well, the ones that are watching this now obviously know it's on YouTube, so if they can pass that word on to everybody else, we appreciate it.
Agreed. 5:02 left in the first quarter from the 31-yard line. Handoff is going to go left side. That'll be Edwards, and Edwards will pick up a couple. Really had to work back toward the middle, and that's a credit to the ends on that defensive line.
That jet sweep is supposed to go out around them, but you can't you can't always go that way. Sometimes you have to know when to go north and south.
Well, you end up picking up a couple yards, which is better than losing a couple yards any day of the week.
Somebody ought to tell that stick man that he's allowed to move down with the ball. Yeah, here he goes.
There he goes. We'll give him a pick up about 3, make it a 2nd down and 7. Probably want to tell him it's second. There we go. Had to go the other way.
Yeah.
1-4-3-2. It's a little different. Clock will continue to run just a little bit better than 4 minutes. 2 receivers go either side now for Cleveland Heights. Watley is going to be the quarterback, slaps his hands for the ball, which everybody is doing now. Hands off. That'll be Edwards up the middle. He'll dive forward. First down yardage on a pickup of about 8.
Yeah, Lorain squad is coached by Matt Killian and Brian Joyner. Both have been with the ninth graders for 3 years now. But you understand, the senior class now didn't have a ninth grade team. The few ninth graders that came out for football had to go up and play with the 10th graders, and the 10th graders had to move up to the varsity. So I have to credit Coach McFarland for getting 2 good junior high coaches that moved up to the ninth grade and are doing a heck of a job with this ninth grade group.
And I think as well, you got guys that are in the halls.
Yeah.
And they're around the kids that can get them engaged. Watley is going to dump the ball off to the left side. That'll be Laurel Cole. Cole is going to spin off a couple different tackles, bounces it outside, turns it into a nice gain out to about midfield.
Well, I thought he was stopped for a 2 or 3 yard, some yards after the catch for sure.
We'll give him a pickup of about 6, maybe 7.
We talked about this team's 9-0. Last year's team was, I think, 8-2, and the year before that was 10-0. So the ninth graders have always shown success, and you're starting to see that now moving up into the varsity level.
Success breeds success.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah, you have to have a program. You don't play it team by team. You got to develop your program.
2nd and about 3 receivers, and Edwards is going to take the snap. Big hit in the middle of the field. Where's my roster? Where's your roster? We're going to find that young man and give him credit. Tyshawn Nelson. Oh, boy. We'll get another look at this here in a second. He's the one guy whose name I didn't put down on my depth chart here. Here's another look at that. See the big hit in the middle of the field. I mean, nothing fancy about that, but boom. Almost took the ball away.
Yeah. He's the other Tyshawn that made Lighty go to TY.
Got him enough for the first down, but paid the price in the process. Inside the 50 in Lorain High territory, first time, and boy, there you go. That's a wet field. That's probably the first time playing on a field like that this year. Jamal Smith tries to turn the corner, loses his footing, loses a couple yards.
I think that jet sweep takes some timing, a little bit more timing than ninth graders usually get.
How about the group of folks that are braving the first cold game of the year? They've come out here to George Daniel and enjoy taking a look at the guys. We appreciate them being out here. Lost a 2 on that play. Second down and 12. Long pass.
Yeah.
Sails over. And here and this is part of learning the passing game. You had 2 receivers, same place, same time. Makes it a lot easier to defend.
Very easy to defend. And I like to see them work on a short game, too. Everything doesn't have to be 30 yards down the field.
Right.
Even if your quarterback can throw it 30 yards, sometimes your line can't block for 30 yards. So you have to work on a short game and work your way down the field.
And that's a great point. Yeah. It's the time that you have in order to make that play.
Yeah.
Clock stop with 1:44. It'll be a third down and about 13 for Cleveland Heights. They'll split 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Laurel Cole and Chris Edwards will be in the backfield. Edwards will be the quarterback. Slaps his hands, high snap. He's just going to tuck and go. Works upfield, gets wrapped up and dropped. Nice job in the middle of the field. Ike Gilliam with the tackle after a pickup of about 6. Brings up a 4th down, and we'll call it. Well, it's it.
That's about 8, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to estimate. Oh, now he's moving to about 6.
I'm checking the ball. We'll go from that. Yeah, we'll call it 4th and 6. And it looks as though Cleveland Heights might be punting this away. And guess who's going to punt it?
Yeah.
Justin Watley.
He probably drove the bus here.
He may have. He's big enough. He can reach the pedals. T.Y. Lighty is going to go back, and he'll be the deep man, the return man here for Lorain High, standing about his own 20. He'll step up just a little bit. You're looking at that point, a 25-yard punt for a freshman, which would not be terrible. Slow snap back, gets into it, gets a high kick. It'll hit and check up at about the 25-yard line, and that's where Lorain High will take over.
Well, this is the first time they had a long field to see what they can do with. Yeah.
So we'll get the Titans back on their offensive side of things. Set up with 35 seconds left in the quarter. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Jackson, a little play action look, flips it out, has a man on the outside, pays the price. Ball comes loose. That's going to be Cleveland Heights' ball. Tried to get it out on the edge with Jalen Cheers, and again, wet field, tough conditions, loses the ball, loses his footing, and unfortunately for the Titans, they put Cleveland Heights in fantastic field position.
But it was a nice-looking option.
It was. And
a beautifully ran option, yes.
And if your quarterback is willing to take this shot right here,
exactly,
you're going to be successful as an option team. Ball just pops loose there, unfortunately, for Lorain High. 28 seconds left in the first quarter. First down and 10 from the Lorain High 31-yard line. Now we'll see what Cleveland Heights can do in terms of moving the ball. They've got great field position. Handoff right up the middle. That's not going anywhere. The ball went up the middle to Edwards, and he got wrapped up and dropped after a pickup of maybe a foot. Well, Tom, you're trying to read my writing. I'm sorry.
No,
it's
terrible. Good. I was just trying to check.
Yeah.
And I thought Mr. Watley was running over. He runs over to get the play from the coach every single play. He will be exhausted by the time this game is over.
Well, the clock's going to wind its way all the way down to 0, which means the first quarter comes to a close. The Lorain High Titans up 14-0 over Cleveland Heights. We'll take a little bit of a break. Second quarter action right around the corner.
Have you ever bought a car and then realized you couldn't afford it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. Don't be insane. At Credit Max Auto, you can get a really great car with a payment you can't afford. Visit us at creditmaxauto.com.
Our little superhero looks pretty happy.
Yes, he does. I've been teaching him that eating healthy will make him grow up strong. It's so important that we both encourage him to eat healthy and exercise regularly, and that we live that way in front of him. You know, it's never too early to start.
I wish I'd eaten healthier when I was his age.
Yeah, maybe if you had, you would have developed some special powers also.
92% of kids and teens have a poor diet, but you can change that. Teach your kids the importance of healthy eating in a language they can understand.
Second down and 10 with 9 minutes on the second quarter clock. We're getting a good look at some of the fans here at George Daniel Stadium as they check out freshman football. 14-0 Lorain High over Cleveland Heights. Almost picked off.
That's the short game, the short pass game I was mentioning. But maybe he's a 40-yard thrower.
Terrell Charlton did a nice job playing that one. Boy, just came off of his hands. Brings up a 3rd and 10 for Cleveland Heights. And maybe you're right.
Yeah.
You kind of go back, and it's the skill sets that present themselves. You would think that in this situation you need 10 yards. Yeah, you can find that guy on the quick slant. And he was there.
He was there. Yeah, they had two of them going in the same direction. They see Watley jumps out to that slot all of a sudden.
3rd and 10, a little bit of motion.
Yeah. Someone started dancing before they played the music, I think, right there.
Can I steal that? I like that one. That's good. Back them up another 5. That's a 3rd penalty on Cleveland Heights today. Now, none of them were really big. All of them 5-yarders, but
5
3rd
yards
and 10 versus 3rd and 15.
Yeah. That hurt you.
Yeah. It's all situation.
Yeah.
And it's one of the other things that over the years I've become more cognizant of. We'll talk about penalties here in a second. Watley's going to roll to the right, flips it downfield, has a couple guys down there, and boy, I tell you what, Chris Edwards, his receiver, did a great job playing defense.
Defense office, and you had to knock that ball down because there was more blue shirts there than there were white shirts.
By a bunch.
Yeah.
So a 4th down and about 15 now for Cleveland Heights. I'm assuming they're going to go for it here at the 36-yard line. And coaches are doing this more and more, going back to the whole concept of penalties. You know, I would much rather face a 3rd and 10 than a 2nd and 15.
Yeah.
Used to be you just take the penalty, always take the penalty. I want down distance and situation.
Yeah, you have to analyze every single situation, how your defense is playing. Exactly.
So look at the Lorain High sideline. So we get up here for the 4th down and 15, clock running at 8:47. There's the pass across the middle. May have been picked off. No, incomplete. Probably better for Lorain High. Either way, they'll take it over on downs. Back at the 36.
Now, I think it's the pass rush that's really hurting their pass game because it looks like they have some decent throwers and receivers out there, but
I agree.
You got to have time.
You I think a lot of people spend a lot of time on throwing and catching and running, but no one spends any time in the summer
on blocking,
hitting the sled.
On blocking. Yeah. I think I don't even know if some teams don't even dress a sled anymore because they don't drive anything. It's not like the old days.
Yeah. You pop it.
We used to drive that 7-man sled all around.
Yeah.
The backfields back here.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It was just understood. And the only way not to drive the sled was to break it.
Yeah.
And that takes a pop.
And you always tried that, didn't you?
Absolutely. It never really worked. Here's a little bit of a jet sweep. They're going to try to find the corner.
Nice blocking out here on this wide receiver.
Oh, look out. This may be big. Yeah. It's going to be big. Light. He's going to find daylight. He's going to find grass. He's going to find the end zone.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
I'll tell you what.
64 yards.
I'm looking for a number here because when we see the replay, check out that wide receiver. I think it's number 11.
Oh, no. Look back at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, a yellow flag.
There's a flag back there. Yeah. Oh, boy. Way back. Right at the line of scrimmage. Back at the 30, well, actually a yard or two upfield.
Everyone's ignoring it, so.
I guess it doesn't count?
It must have been a Cleveland Heights. He just assumed they're going to. What else could it be?
Well, I guess since he's walking forward with it.
Yeah.
I guess it was in that place where you would normally assume
it was a hold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, we'll get a peek at that touchdown here after the extra point. They wave off the penalty, or just decline it, more accurately.
No,
He's not tucked it away yet, so.
He said no one's listening to me. They're all walking away.
Threw it. Jordan Jackson, the quarterback, sends a man in motion across the formation. They'll fake the sweep handoff right up the middle, and the ball popped loose. I think it did.
No one signaled, so I assume he didn't make it. And he must have been down before it crossed over.
I guess so. So that'll leave the score at 20-0 in favor of Lorain High. And boy, there you go. There's some of the folks that are helping out the football team.
Yeah.
Showing a little bit of their Titan spirit.
Happy to be on camera.
You notice they don't put us on camera.
Now here's this. No, then we're going to see the replay of the extra point.
Like the misdirect there, the ball did pop
out.
loose.
Mm-hmm.
And Cleveland Heights recovered it. So there, we did get a peek at that.
But we didn't see that the long touchdown.
We did
but
not.
It was Caesar Jeter
Was it?
through
Okay.
a block that must have lasted 5 or 6 seconds.
Ooh.
I mean, you don't usually see wide receivers. There it comes. Yeah, watch this wide receiver out here.
There's the motion across the formation. You get the sweep action. Boy, no kidding. Look at that. That's phenomenal. That's a great job.
Yeah.
Boy, does
Lighty has to go back here
good.
and give him a high five and thank you for the block.
Got to buy him a burger. All right, so they're stepping off the penalty on the kickoff. So that's a 15-yard penalty.
So it was an unsportsmanlike?
Some kind of personal foul, but it would happen way back at the line of scrimmage. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
either way.
Here's a case where sometimes you think about a little pooch, a little onside, because no matter where they get the ball,
Yeah, you just get it over that first line.
exactly.
Make sure it hits so you don't interfere with the catch. The Titans will have it all lined up. And waiting for the whistle. There it comes. There's your kick. End over end. Bounces at about the 10. Picked up at about the 6. And great coverage downfield. Missed the first tackle. It could turn into a big return here. Big hits downfield.
Yeah.
They'll run out of bounds inside the 15-yard line, or maybe right at the 15-yard line.
And it could have been on the 5. He made a nice little run after the first initial hit to get him really out of bad trouble.
Lorain High has had 2 one-play scoring drives.
Yeah.
One for 60, what do we call that one? 67. There's a kickoff again. We'll look at this. And here's, again, one of those things, and you catch this from the pros. You make that tackle, you break down into that tackle instead of flying at him. You stand it. You may not get him quite as far downfield, but he's not going to get as far upfield.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the hardest thing to teach young kids is to go down low, down around their hips, or rather jump up high.
We all want to make the big hit.
Yeah. Yep.
Some more of the great folks here. They're enjoying the game on this chilly Thursday, and there is your Lorain High defense saying,
Nothing
not
up the middle.
this time.
Nothing up the
Dylan
middle.
Blakely there with the big stop, and he's just not having it. No game. Actually, they're going to mark him for a loss. I was just saying it was no gain. That's almost a loss of 5. Staying home, yeah. Solid move inside. I mean, he got through, ripped through, created some space for himself, and the running back helped him out by finding him. That defensive line for Lorain High has done a great job all afternoon long.
Yeah, there's some nice-looking kids down there.
There are.
You don't say their name as often as sometimes you get those specialties in there, but they're the workhorses in there. Quiet. I was with the team yesterday talking to a little bit. I never heard a lineman speak up.
Wow. Edwards throws one downfield, almost picked off in the middle of the field.
There's coverage. Every pass play, Lorain's had some coverage in there. Antonio Baez?
There you go. Baez wasn't in our initial starter package, but made a nice play on that ball. Almost picked it off. Going to bring up a 3rd down and about 14. Throw for it here. Had a man across the middle. Almost picked off yet again. Ball sailed a little bit long for the intended receiver, Turner. Had a couple different Titans there. I want to say Tyshawn Nelson was one of them. May have had a play on that. It's going to bring up a 4th down and another punt situation for Cleveland Heights. Unfortunately for Heights, they've not really even sniffed much of a drive. And credit this Lorain High defense. It looks as though they've got some skill sets.
Well, I think they got that big Watley running the ball.
Yeah.
And I can see, not when your feet are on the goal line, but someday you're going to see a fake punt from him.
Slow snap back. He'll go ahead and kick it. May have been partially blocked, end over end. This could turn into a big return. Here comes Lorain High around the edge. That's Leaper. Leaper's going to find the end zone. And I'm thinking that was about a 24, maybe a 25-yard punt return for touchdown.
Yeah.
We'll get the distance here for you in just a second.
Wasn't there in the county, I don't know if you did the game or not, a punt return for about 6 yards for a touchdown?
Yes, there was.
Was it an Avon or a?
It was something like that. It was a really weird situation.
Yeah.
It was blocked. It went straight up into the air. It was picked up, and we're going to say that was about a 24-yard return. I was pretty close. Nice job finding the corner of the end zone. It really weird situation. Lorain High is going to go for the 2-point extra point. They'll line up for it here. Head around on the right side, drop it into the end zone.
Nice little pass into the flats.
That will work. Let's see who we got catching that ball. Was that Leaper again?
And Lorain numbers are hard to read sometimes.
They are.
$12.
All right, so we're going to have to dig into our roster. We're getting some other guys into the game than we had early on.
Kevin Price.
There we go. All right, Kevin. Well done.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice game for Lorain to end the season on, because I see every single blue shirt down there is going to be getting in this game and offering some significant play.
Look at here. Look at the blocks.
Yes.
Did you notice all of those? There were 3 or 4 just phenomenal blocks on that.
You know, success breeds success.
It does.
And you win the first 9 games. Kids are happy. They're loose.
Well, 28-20 certainly helps.
Did they go into a running clock down at this level too? So I think the next touchdown we'll see a running clock
well, you've
for
got
a while.
7 minutes left, 7:04 to be precise left in this first half, and we're headed toward a running clock. Ball we picked up at about the 13-yard line. And another decent return there. See, I mean, this is the thing with this Cleveland Heights squad. Chris Edwards picks the ball up and turns it into a decent return. I mean, you see flashes of skill sets with this Cleveland Heights squad.
But there's not enough of them out there.
That's it.
Not enough out there.
And that makes it really tough. I mean, you get 11 guys on the field. That leaves you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys sitting on the sideline. And those are just not numbers you can work with.
And Lorain's pushing new kids into the game every play now.
Yeah, we're having to work the roster. What's going on with that? All right, it looks like the guy that they told us was going to be the quarterback, Chris Edwards, has played very little quarterback. Instead, it's been Watley, and he's not going to get the opportunity this time. It'll be Laurel Cole. Cole wants to just kind of, on the Wildcat formation. All right, if you're going to slow down, don't stand straight up, because bad things are going to happen. And I would introduce you to Davion Anderson, who just showed you what a bad thing is going to look like. Pretty sure that was him.
Watley has probably played every skill position on his team so far, because he was out of wide receiver this time, but threw a nice block. If we see a replay here, watch him coming in from his wide receiver spot and threw a nice little block.
Nice job kind of turning him around.
There's the block, and there's the tackle right
Boom.
there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
He knew it. He's clapping.
LaCoy Walker was part of that combination. Giving up yards on a sweep generally is not a good
No.
thing. And there you'll see a loss of 1 that time as the Cleveland Heights running back tries to find the corner, gets spun around. I want to say that was Edwards heading out that way. And that's the other part of that. You talk about little parts of the game and the things that you do learn. The defensive line for Lorain does a great job hitting and scraping.
Yeah, and feathering out there.
Yeah.
Feather him all the way to the sideline until eventually he runs out of room. This team looks like they got a ton of athletes.
They do.
You can see that, but they also look like they're well coached.
I agree.
can see that. Very well coached.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. They'll try to fire across
I
the middle.
think
That
it
one's
bounced
gonna fall
off the
incomplete.
ground,
It
yeah.
did. Yep. Going to bring up another 4th down. The passing game that we originally thought was going to be successful for Cleveland Heights has kind of fallen by the wayside. They keep going to it, but, geez, they've not had much of an opportunity to complete them.
I don't think they've completed the pass yet.
You know, I could probably figure that out. Son of a gun. You're dead on.
Yeah.
That's why you're the best. Another punt opportunity here for Cleveland Heights as we're playing under the lights here at Georgetown. I don't know if you can quite kind of tell that from the great video work. Slow snap. Is he going to kick this? Gets it away. Going to be fielded at about the 35-yard line. This could turn into something big as well. Look at the blockers out in front.
Look at that, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Now he's got an escort.
He's just picking his way through, turns this into a huge return down to the 20-yard line. What a great that's another skill set. Any guy that's willing to have that kind of patience to follow his guys down.
Yeah, oh yeah. And think about at this level, he must have had an escort of 8 or 9 kids.
Yeah.
Which usually, that's when you set up punt returns and everything. I'm sure these 9th graders haven't set up punt returns. That was just on their own to get out there in front of him and block. But I like the punter, that Watley. The patience of him. That was the old soccer-style kick.
Exactly.
And now he's on a soccer-style kicker. Yeah. Well, here he comes, right here.
All right, we're going to be back to live action here. We'll take another peek at that. They'll flip it out to the left side. That's going to be Jeter. Jeter is going to find the end zone and another one-play scoring drive for Lorain High, this time from 20 yards out. Wow.
We know this big score is not unusual for this team. I was talking to the coaches yesterday. They're 9-0, and they've had some big victories. They beat St. Ed's 18.
Wow.
They beat Glenville's best team, and they beat Benedictine. And anytime you have to play some of the Catholic schools, you're going to run into some competition. But they've had, I think Coach told me, 5 of their games over 40 points. So, I mean, this is a team that scores points. They know what they're doing. They know how to get into the end zone. They act like they've been there before. I didn't see them hot dogging. I just see them going in there, flip the ball back to the official, and, get ready to kick off.
Put the 8 points up on the board for the score and the 2-point extra point. That'll make it 36-0. And, we should see the running clock with 4:50 left in this first half.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that Ohio State philosophy. You flip the ball to a guy in stripes and hug a big guy.
Yeah. Because they're the one that set the block for you. Right, exactly. Yeah.
And we got another look at this punt return. A lot of patience shown on that. And focus here, we've seen the return already, both live and in replay. Watch these guys out here making contact. Find somebody. Put a hat on them. Great job.
Yeah.
Here's your 2-point extra point. They'll flip it out to the left side. That was the prior scoring play, actually.
I was looking for Tyshawn Nelson, was lead blocker in there. Never threw a block.
Yeah.
He never threw the block.
But he let him through?
Oh, yeah.
Little short kick, I don't think pooch by design, but over the head of the first row, and it will be Cleveland Heights ball at about their own 36-yard line. 4:47 left, and this should be a fast 4:47.
I'm not a big fan of the running clock.
What are your thoughts? I hear from a lot of different folks.
And I say, of course, we've had it for a couple of seasons now, so there's a lot of these arguments. But when it first came out, because I coach a lot of teams where now you wanted to. I've been on both sides of the 30 points.
Yeah, so have I.
And
more on the south side of that personally.
Whatever side you're But there's a lot of kids that you like to get into the game because they practice all week also.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get the opportunity to play as many minutes because you watch the second half, it's going to go like, a snap.
Exactly.
And you got kids that deserve to get into the game.
And there's development opportunities
exactly.
inside this. A little bit of screenplay opportunity. They'll try to flip it out to Laurel Cole, and it will find a turf before it finds its hands, and incomplete.
I think even some of the teams that are on the, like you said, the south side of the 30 points, they want that opportunity to get some of their young kids in the game too. So that's my feeling about it.
I guess part of my argument has always been, and it kind of, in my mind, it's kind of like a participation trophy.
Yeah.
If you're getting beat, you got to take your lumps. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
Snap will go back. Watley wants to throw.
He dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball. Lorain high ball should be at the 30-yard line. Nope, maybe not. Did they give it to him or not?
I think Lorain's clapping.
I thought they had it.
Yeah.
They fell on top of it. So the sides are switching. So that is one of the times that the clock will stop.
No, running clock's only in the second half, guys.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Only in the second half.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm glad we got an interpretation from that, Joe. Yeah.
No, that's okay. We're back at the line. One's hot.
Cleveland Heights 30-yard line is where we'll start this possession for Lorain High. Put a drive together more than one play. Uh-oh. Maybe not. Well, you're going to get a first down out of this one as Jalen Cheers, is going to work down to the 30-yard line, and all the officials pointing forward.
We're probably not going to get a chance to see is Jordan Jackson's arm the rest of this game because they're probably not going to throw the ball as much with the lead that they have. But I would like to see that young man play.
Do we know that young man? Seems like we should. They'll pass it here. Flip it underneath.
I didn't recognize him.
That'll be Jeter. Jeter. Did he lose that one?
No, but he had a nice
came
little
up with
tackle
it.
there.
Yeah. Jeter's a little frustrated. I'm not sure why. He picked up a couple on that little middle screen. A pickup of about 3 on that brings up second down and 7. Ball spotted about the 16-yard line. There's a passing opportunity. Jackson rolls out to the right, flips it out, finds his man. Nice little head and shoulder fake and dive into the end zone. Caesar Jeter makes the play. And it was that little juke that made it work.
It was that little dart pass.
Well,
that was a great pass. He didn't have to put a touch on it. You just got to get the ball past someone. That was a great play on both kids' parts.
I agree.
Yeah.
So there's your throwing game from Jackson you've been waiting for. We got another look at it here, courtesy of TV20. There's a little pump fake. You roll out. Good decision-making here. Draw the defense up to you. Get your man some open space and let him go to work.
Leader do it.
2-point extra point on the way, and that time Jordan Jackson will take it in. I'm sure we'll get a peek at it here, I think. So here's another look at it. Fake the handoff, and Jackson does a nice job, and again, just finds his way in. Looks at those guys in front of him, makes good decisions. Halftime, we're going to have to give ourselves a little break, get all the crew working on the game because they're doing a nice job.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, this club has always been a professional ran organization. Terry Trout's class.
Yeah.
Joe Bach's direction.
Oh, we got the young one on the camera.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Starting them young in Lorain.
You gotta live the Titan life. Get back to the action here with the score 44-0 in favor of Lorain High. Short kick's going to be fielded at about the 28-yard line and go pretty much nowhere forward. Nice job covering that short kick by the Titans.
I mentioned both of these big Division I schools have numerous junior highs that feed up into them. And I asked, I was talking to the team yesterday, and got talking to the two Tyshans, Ty and Nelson, and I asked them. One came from Longfellow, one came from General Johnny Wilson. I said,
Okay.
"How do you get along? Did you kind of have did you not like each other?" And they said, "We went to elementary school together. We grew up together. It's just for that junior high year.
Yeah.
They played baseball together. You know what I mean? So these kids, but the coaches had to bring them together."
And I like that more
Yeah.
about athletics today. Boy, nice job here working out of trouble and working upfield by the running back, Chris Edwards, for Cleveland Heights. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day, those guys that played for the other junior high, we just hated them.
Exactly, yeah.
And some of that carried over.
Yeah.
So when you're
Yeah.
combining the schools, if you can avoid some of that animosity, life is much better.
And he did say, he said, we're a family now. And they mentioned, the whole team was mentioned, we're a family now. But that's part of the coaching, I'm sure.
I agree.
To do that same, get them with that kind of a mindset. So next year they're going to have to bring the third junior high into the fold.
That's right.
Because Southview's out there, and I'm sure they're producing some nice athletes too.
I hope so. Boy, nice defensive work there by David Lieber. Just stepping in front of the receiver, knocking that one down. It'll be interesting to see kind of how that system develops and how that begins to feed into all this momentum that the Lorain High teams, and I mean teams, are almost across the board, have been experiencing the last several years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Exactly right. Well, I remember back in the old days, it was back in Lorain High, they had Longfellow and Irving feeding them.
Yeah.
King had a Mass and Hawthorne. Southview only had Whittier,
Whittier.
and that hurt them more than anything else because we were getting two groups.
Yeah.
They were only getting one.
I was one of those guys.
I know. That's why I brought up that old Whittier-Southview connection.
Boy, nice job defensively by the Titans, putting pressure that time as Laurel Cole took the snap. Wanted to try to find the edge. Ended up losing several yards. Hopefully we get a peek at this. There were like 3 or 4 different Titans that were up on the ball. So here's a nice job. You get up there, you maintain basically.
Yeah, bulldog down.
But you had the edge, and you did a nice job there, and then your buddies come up and join the party. Right now you can forget Napoli. It's a party at the Titans' house.
Yeah.
Snap goes back. Watley wants to throw. That's going to be almost picked off, and I think the guys ended up playing defense on each other.
Yeah.
They had 2 guys going up. I think it was Walker that was going to come down with it. Lighty was battling for it too.
Yeah. I think he got I think Lighty got a little bit of a reprimand from one of his teammates over on the sideline. Not in uniform, you know. Yeah.
It's your own guy. What are you doing? We'll assume here.
Yeah, I haven't seen any aspect of the game where Lorain Titans have really not excelled at so far.
Well, that's okay, Bob. You could run one, and then you just won't
So it'll be a first down,
and then you just change your shooting style.
taking over on downs.
I didn't realize that was fourth down.
I think it was only third. I'm not sure what happened.
I didn't realize.
The 24-yard line of Cleveland Heights. Here comes Lorain High again. They've got 2:42 left in this first half to do some damage, and they've not been taking a whole heck of a long time to do any damage at all game long. Be a nice little pickup on first down of about 5. Was that Lighty on the carry?
I didn't catch it, to tell you the truth.
Well, Lighty's going to – TY is going to slip out to the left side. You've got to split to the right side. Little read action. And nice tackle, but a flag comes in late. Run that time by Jalen.
You know, I'd like to see them run again is run that little option again to Cheers just to get his confidence back up after the fumble.
Yeah.
I hate to have him think that they're not going to run it again because they don't trust him.
Good point.
So you run it again, build all the confidence back up in him.
Well, there's a brain trust right there. You got A.D. Corey along with the head football coach McFarland.
Hall, that's the young line coach. Knowing they're on camera, maybe.
Yeah, getting a little publicity time. You know, the old guys aren't waving. The young guy wants the fame. I like that. All right. Yeah, Corey, I called you old. If he watches this later, I'll hear about that, I'm sure. All right, penalty is stepped off. And there's that varsity look right now. A little flip back, double pass. Possibly. They're going to try to go back to Jackson, flip it across the field. 2 receivers, same place, going to fall incomplete. That's a tough one.
I would have threw it back to Jackson.
Well, he was right there.
I thought that's what they were setting up, to tell you the truth.
You can see when they throw backwards in that situation, the idea is to get the defense to say, okay, they've thrown their pass.
Yeah, run over to me.
And then when you stop and you set up and throw back, which is a tough thing to do, and they didn't execute it poorly, falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 12 with 2:02 on this second quarter clock. The sky getting dark. Feels later than it probably actually is. Handoff up the middle. Cheers. He's going to bounce off a couple tackles near the far end of the sticks. I think he got it. He needed just inside the 15, and they're going to spot him down to 13. Yeah. It's all kinds of strange sounds coming from up here. I don't know what that was. Hopefully everybody's okay. 2 receivers off to the right side. You got a split and a slot. Oh, my. Nice job handling the ball inside. Tyshawn Nelson's going to end up going into the end zone from 13 yards out. It was the ball fake.
I'm just going to get it on.
Yeah.
I was saying, well, this is one play that's not a success because I seen him getting tackled. I didn't see Nelson carry the ball over the goal line. Yeah. That's smooth ball handling that you don't usually see from a freshman.
No. I mean, and if you're going to run kind of that wing base or that wing formation, you've got to be able to handle the ball.
Exactly. Quickly, because those backs are standing 1 foot away from you.
I'll go for the 2-point extra point here again. Actually, I have a couple guys alongside, and handoff and into the end zone, almost too easy for Nelson. I agree. It is a little too easy right now for Lorain High. 52-0 is the count. And it's getting tough. And I do feel bad for these kids from Cleveland Heights. You made the hour-plus ride through traffic in Cleveland to get out here. And these Lorain High guys just have it. There's the initial fake. Everybody bit. And that just opens it up for Nelson. I mean, it's just good work. Nelson's going to get the opportunity for the 2 points to follow it up and bump it up 52-0 with 1:39 left in this first half.
And we're looking at a good ninth grade team, well coached, a lot of skills. And think they're missing 2 freshmen that are starting on the varsity, Daylin Dower and Siobhan Chavis.
I guess if I'm the rest of the LEL right now, I might be shaking in my shoes. Kicks away. It'll be fielded back at about the 15-yard line. And didn't think anything good was going to turn out of that. Big collision downfield. Great return, to be honest with you. I thought they were going to get wrapped up back at about the 18.
You see that a lot. You know, that little fumbling around. I think all the timing is set off with your team coming down. They get out of the line. That's about the 3rd time that happened here.
Where are they going to spot this, Tom? I'm about the 33?
Yeah, or 33, 2. Yeah.
Lorain High has scored
Yeah, I'm glad you're going to do the recap and all this scoring.
4 times on one play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much of this recap we're going to be able to manage. It was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. We'll give you that much of a recap. You had to drive a 4 plays and a single play touchdown. Then they gave up the ball. Then in the second quarter, it's just been blitzkrieg. Yeah. Got a timeout on the field as the teams are huddling up. We'll get another good look at some of the folks here enjoying Lorain High's freshman football team and their success. A 64-yard run. You got a punt return for a run, which I think was about 24 yards.
24, I think we measured it. Mm-hmm.
You got a 20-yard run from Cheers for touchdown. At 1-2-3 play touchdown, a 16-yard run that time. That scoring drive is exhaustive.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know who.
We got serious. We were having fun, and then we got serious. What's going on with that? All right, we got to get back up where we look like we know what we're doing.
Okay, here we are.
All right, we'll see what Heights does here with the ball. There's a lot of fun times along the sideline when you're up 52-0.
Yeah. Showing the camaraderie here.
All right, so here we go, back at it with 1:28. Handoff is going to go to Watley, and he's going nowhere. That's the biggest guy on this squad, and he's going to be slow to get up this time. Middle of the field, Michael Smith, I think, got a pop on him. And if I'm Cleveland Heights right now, I'm wanting to burn a little bit of time and take a break. Loss of about 3 on that play brings up a 2nd and 13. High snap and whistles toot, mercifully perhaps, for Cleveland Heights. The snap went well over Watley's head. So you lose 5 on the penalty as opposed to about 15 by the time he would have been wrapped up.
That's another skill that people don't realize what a tough job centering is with this. Have you had a chance to coach like the new centers? No, but I was back in the day a single wing center.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. So you got it.
Yeah.
You know what's going on. Long pass downfield's going to fall.
Just fall short. Yeah. Now I'm talking about a few years ago, back in my high school days, where you had a center either to this guy, lead him this way, lead him that way, but you always looked through your legs and watched the ball all the way back, and the coach never got on you for all your blocking. I see these centers now. They look back, they know where the guy is, and you snap it back, and you're looking up. You're just as good a blocker as the guards are.
So when you snapped in those kinds of formations, you tried to get like a spiral motion.
We had to spin it.
Now anymore, it's just kind of a
soft,
flip.
Real soft.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Our tailback wanted it right there, turning so he could just catch it in his hands because he was always on the run when he got it.
Watley feels pressure, dumps it off into the flat, incomplete, and to bring up another 4th down. Stops the clock with 42 seconds. Getting a lot of good looks at all the people enjoying the game, especially along the sideline. It's just, some of those changes to the game, And we could have long philosophical discussions about the changes in special teams play, in line play.
Yeah, that's a big, like we just mentioned before, you don't drive the sled anymore because there's no drive, and it's all position blocking with hands. And
It drives me nuts. Yeah. We'll get back to this. Here comes Watley, wants to break free. He's not going to be able to do that. Avoids a couple different Titan tacklers before he gets wrapped up and dropped again by Michael Smith.
I remember we always used to issue all kind of arm pads to people. Everyone had an arm. Remember the old arm pads? No one gets arm pads anymore, but they just get bigger gloves because they're doing a lot of things with their hands anymore.
When I see this and I don't, different teams call it different things, but when offensive linemen pass block and their first step is directly backwards, always drives me nuts.
Hinged, yeah.
Hinged, kick.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard people call it a gate step, or somebody actually called it a donkey step or something like that.
I've never heard that term. That's a good one, yeah.
Stuns me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, all that is getting position.
That's it.
So you get in position so you can take them out.
So from the 28-yard line, flags fly before we get underway here. Ball at the Heights 28. That's going to be on Lorain High. That's their second penalty of the game, I believe.
I think that was going to be a nice little counter back to Nelson again.
Back it up to the 32-yard line. I have to talk to Howard about getting the field painted for freshman games. Handoff up the middle and almost turn into just dragging people along. Well, you don't have to push the sled. You can drag the sled.
Look at this.
Nice job. Lighty's going to work his way all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's a pickup of 20. My goodness.
Yeah, nice run. Nice kids.
All right, now we're going to have to refocus. The players on the sideline are starting to play to the camera. All right, guys, come on now. Clock running down to 20 seconds as we approach halftime here at George Daniel Stadium. Get at Jackson, hands off, up the middle, breaks through, another touchdown into the end zone. T.Y. Lighty from 12 yards out.
With 4 seconds left to go, that's get the score in before the clock starts running. You talk about changes to the game. Another big change is there's only allowed 1 hour of live scrimmage per week. Now think about that. We used to do 1 hour of scrimmaging per day.
On Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday was like 2 hours, Because if you got hurt, you could heal up by Friday.
That's it.
Yeah.
Extra point is good for the Titans. That will make it 60-0 with just a couple ticks on the clock. And I'm hoping for Cleveland Heights' sake, I'm hoping this second half flies by. I really want to see it move along.
Like I said, they got all their kids in the game because they have a light bench to work with.
That's it.
Lorain has, and I know how kids are right now. They're always pestering the coach right now, let me in, and they're going to get him in.
Oh, yeah.
And at this level, sometimes you have to work them in piecemeal. There's not a whole second team to go in or a whole third team to go in.
And I've never been a fan of that anyway.
Yeah. No.
Not in football, at least.
No.
You put a couple in, you
right.
bring a couple more in, because the changes are so dramatic.
Exactly. And then you get a couple of the ones who are younger.
Yes.
That's a nice way of saying,
Yeah.
they're seconds. They're younger, are working with some of the better ones.
Yeah, exactly. Good coverage downfield yet again for the Titans, and that return will bring the clock to 3-0, and the teams will head either to a locker room or to somewhere on the field just to huddle up and kind of talk things through. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. 60-0 at the half in favor of Lorain High over Cleveland Heights. We'll check on the scoring summary when we come back after halftime. We'll have some time to talk about things like that. Take a little bit of a break here on TV 20 and be right back.
Hi, my name is Hts.10-27-16. I'm 18 years old and in 12th grade at Lorain High School. I'm studying mechanical engineering and robotics through Lorain High's Career Tech Education program. I'm also working on my 2-year college degree through Titan College's College Credit Plus program. In CTE's Mechanical Engineering and Robotics program, we get to use our mind and imagination to create anything we want. My teacher, Mr. Bogan, really made applied math fun. Bogan's a really good teacher and he makes making friends easy. He cares, he does his job. It makes it a lot easier for us to understand and we are able to do it. He has really high expectations for us. I learned how to read blueprints, how to create a robot. It's mind-blowing how easy it can be if you just put your mind to it. As for Titan College's College Credit Plus program, it's a lot of homework, but if you're not lazy, you can figure it out. Sometimes taking college credits in high school can be overwhelming, but it keeps you from slacking off because you know it's on your college transcript. The teachers in CCP are really professional and expect more from us, but they understand that we are still high school students. I'm really grateful for this program. There are no excuses for not doing it. Thanks to Titan College and Career Tech, I will have more than a year of college coursework completed by the time I finish high school. Thanks to my Career Tech mechanical engineering classes, I have a hands-on basis for what I want to do, and that makes me feel really confident. CTE gave me this confidence. If it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't want to be in this career field. I know what I want to do, and it's all thanks to the Lorain High's Mechanical Engineering Career Tech program and Titan College.
Freshman football, second half action coming your way. Lorain High up big at halftime over Cleveland Heights, 60-0 down. Vincent Lowe, Tom Bauer. Tom, you know, we talked about the running clock in that first half. Well, we got it here in the second half.
We're going to see it here.
And we'll also see, and you mentioned this a minute ago before we came on air, we're going to see a lot of different guys out on the field.
Exactly.
That's a good thing.
And it's a very good thing. Very good thing. You're going to see kids out there that practiced all week.
Yeah.
Now, they've been in big scores before, so they've got some playing time. But there's some games where, you know, a kid this just doesn't get in the game because it's too tight to get him in. And this is not going to be one of those situations.
Well, you get those ones out there probably for a series, maybe. And then after that, you start working guys in. We're going to see the return here. Nice job moving the ball upfield. And I want to say that was Trell Charlton. Gets it out to about the, well, we're going to spot that, the 30, 45. Wow.
Mm-hmm. The clock hasn't moved yet, so I'm wondering about this. Here it goes right now.
They'll mark it actually out to Lorain High 46. The officials will wind the clock, and this second half should go pretty quickly. Almost looks as though Cleveland Heights is sitting back. Well, now they'll step up. It looked odd there at first.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know if Lorain is – oh, they're waiting for him. That's what is happening.
Well, Leeper's going to be the quarterback now, so we've got a little bit of a change there. Jeter's on one side, Cheers the other. It's going to be Cheers here on first down. He's going to work to the right side, find the sideline, tiptoe a little bit, step over a guy, forget about it. He's gone yet again. Another one-run scoring drive for the Titans, 54 yards on one play.
But he tiptoed down the sidelines. I think he was there inches away from the white line, wasn't he?
Just. I mean, he came out of the pile. He came to the sideline. There were guys there. Here, we'll get another look at it. Going to see a TV 20. Great crew. I didn't get the name, so watch him come to this near sideline. And this is where I think you're talking about, right here.
Yeah, right here.
Look at that. Good gosh. Joe, I'm going to have to count. Joe Bach just asked how many one-play scoring drives in this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
They go for the 2-point extra point again. A little bit of movement along the front. Ball comes loose. Going to be picked up by Heights, and there should be flags, a couple here and there. I guess they're going to say that was on Lorain High, so it didn't happen. Actually, there's no flag at all.
It'll just
it'll be
a
okay.
bad play.
That's the way we'll leave it. So we're figuring that this is a record now. It's 66-0. It probably was a record. By the way, Jaden Morales, Marquintes Graham, then you got Joe Bach and Bob Schlembaker and all those folks. But the students always doing – oh, and Terry Trout's here as well. I forgot about Terry.
Well, he had to leave, but he was here.
He left.
Yeah, he had somewhere to go.
He had a date?
Yeah.
But a tip of the cap, as always, great productions here on TV 20. Appreciate everybody's work. And the replay guy over to my right. Amazing. I did the replay like a couple times seasons ago.
Yeah.
For basketball games. This was back at the old Shot Palace. So it's been a couple years. It's kind of hard not to get wrapped up.
Yeah, into watching the game. Yeah. Not Jay. He got it down pat.
He's all right. Replay guy may be the most important guy.
Now, how many plays have we ran in this game so far? I mean, in this half so far.
How many snaps?
Yeah.
1.
We've used over 3 minutes.
A kickoff, a snap, and an extra play, extra point play. So you want to go?
Yeah.
That's it. Now you got the kickoff, and we'll go from there. This is one of the things I've always had a hard time with. We get another look at that.
At the touchdown.
Yeah. Look at this little step right here. Boop. There you go.
Accelerate right past that tackler.
I wish I had that kind of speed once, ever. I like the big guys going down there getting a little love as well.
And they deserved it.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the guys, I think he's Fabian Gonzalez was down there. He was creating some of the openings with his blocking work, and we hadn't seen him earlier in the game, so good to see him. We'll get back at it here. Cleveland Heights, and yeah, boy, time is flying by. We're under 5 minutes here. And going around the right side for Cleveland Heights that time was Watley, and he's just moving very slowly. We'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 on that first down carry. Bounce the ball back out.
Well,
let's see who else. Let me see. Isaiah de Jesus is out there defensively for Lorain High in the middle of that defensive line.
No, we haven't mentioned names like Santino Torres, but I know Coach was talking about him and Chad Rose.
Yeah.
So, because, you don't see those linemen doing all that work, but they're in there doing all that work. So if you score 66 points, they've had numerous blocks to set up all those touchdowns. So, you got to give them a little bit of props too.
Absolutely. Antonio Baez was the defensive back making a play on that incomplete pass. It should bring up a third down at about 6, and the clock is just flying by.
Yeah.
Which at some level I'm appreciative of. I'm going to send everybody out into the pattern. This time Watley's just going to tuck and go. First down yardage as he makes big contact along the far sideline.
He doesn't run real fast, but he's deceptively quick on this little side steps that he can do. And he's big. Yeah, and he's
very solid.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see him as a quarterback long term. No. And I don't see him as necessarily a running back, but a slot back,
maybe,
or an H, maybe
catching that little ball in space and then making a little move there.
Low snap. He's going to hand off. Working around the right side is Edwards. Edwards will be near first down yardage. Gets flipped over along the sideline, and one of the Titans may be down. I think that might be Baez over there along the far sideline. This is one of the few times when the clock will stop in these situations.
A little injury.
Oh, you've got one. I want to steal this one then so we can refer to it. We're trying to make mention of all these guys that are out on the field contributing. Got the player up. Baez seems to be okay. He's moving under his own power. But they'll rewind the clock and get it moving here. Third down and a couple. And that'll be another first down. Whoa, big wrap up and drop on
nice
the far
little tackle.
side. That was Dylan Blakely making the contact. So first down here for Cleveland Heights. Those poor guys.
This is their longest drive of the game so far.
It's funny. I wasn't going to talk about their drive back home, but you're right. You're right. This is it. First down. On a work to the outside. Edwards is going to get there. He'll have another first down.
He's another little runner, that Edwards. He's a little he's probably their scat back, but he is a evasive little runner too.
Well, it's funny. He's the guy that they listed when I went out and talked to the coach. He's the guy they listed as a quarterback.
Okay.
But he said also, you've got this kid Watley who does literally everything. And apparently he does.
He does.
Wonder what he's cooking for dinner tonight. He's going to be the quarterback this time. He's going to get wrapped up. Ball's going to get popped loose. It's going to be picked up by Lorain High. It'll be the Titans' ball at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that was his fault, just being careless with the ball. He had it hanging out there like a loaf of bread.
That's, that was Grandpa. Got to tuck that ball away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's not a loafer. You're absolutely – that's exactly the words that he used. Yeah, ball security, ball control. Just can't get lazy, basically, is what it comes down to. And I'm not talking bad about the young man because I think he's a fantastic athlete. I think he's got a big future ahead of him. But it's sometimes that kind of stuff happens in these kind of games.
Yeah.
Third quarter clock's down to 37 ticks. Yeah, it's going fast. I'll give you a number of plays from scrimmage here in a second. Oh, ball comes loose for the Titans. And that one is Leeper. David Leeper is going to pick it back up. Quarterback handed it off. Got dropped. He picked it back up.
I think got to hand it back up to him.
Yeah. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it. You take it.
Yeah.
No. You take it. Lost a couple on that first down carries. It'll be second down at about 11.
Here comes the quarter.
So we'll run that down to zeros, and the third quarter will end fairly quickly at 66-0. Now, here's the thing for Lorain High, and I understand they're running some different guys in there, but they snapped the ball once and did not score, which is kind of a long drive for the Titans today. They've ripped off some long ones, so we've got 9 more minutes of running clock to work through here. And go back to your point, because I think this is the point. From the time we came back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 snaps from scrimmage.
Yes.
Including the extra point play.
And all those kids out there that want to get into the game are not getting into the game now.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And Lorain's not going to run the score up. They're going to put all their kids in. They're going to put all their kids. Everyone's going to be happy. But there's going to be a couple kids go home sad because they played 3 plays in a game that had 66 points. And somebody said, why didn't you play them a long time ago? Well, this is the way football's played.
It really is.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be right back for fourth quarter action here on TV 20 WLCS.
Why do you let car dealers treat you like you're stupid? Just because you've had credit problems doesn't mean you're stupid. Credit Max Auto treats you with dignity and respect. We have a great selection of cars with fast, easy financing and payments you can afford. Check us out at creditmaxauto.com.
Hi, this is Michael Peterson. I'm sitting here in the beautiful Sound Kitchen recording studios in Franklin, Tennessee. Did you know that for over 90 years, the American Legion Auxiliary has provided comfort, care, and scholarships for our military veterans and their families? There continues to be a great need for scholarships for the children of our military veterans, as well as outreach for our wartime veterans and their families. Please join me in making a generous donation to the American Legion Auxiliary Foundation.
Back to fourth quarter action here on WLCS TV 20. Don Vincent along with Tom Bauer. The Lorain Titans freshman football team enjoying a significant 66-0 lead. Titans will have the ball here on. Somehow they got the sticks messed up because they lost yardage, but this may turn into another big play. A nice run along the far sideline. Jeter is going to break free.
Yeah,
there you go. Into the end zone, 67 yards. That's the second 67-yard run of the day.
See, that was a 2-play drive.
It was.
Because the first play just set them up. Yeah.
So they're going to increase the record. And again, this is not. Look at this play. This is a traditional formation. This is nothing exotic. It's a quick pitch, which is typical for this kind of formation. You just get good blocking. And how are you going to tell a kid not to score? You can't.
Well, that may be the only time we'll see this replay, but someone will be watching it. If you watch Kevin Price, he blocked the same person. Is he getting called back?
Yeah, it got called back. I didn't see the flag.
Neither did I. We're busy talking.
Oh, boy. All right, so wipe that one. You didn't tweet that one out, did you? Okay.
Not yet.
All right.
I was going to.
He was close. So they'll spot off a penalty against the Titans, 5 yards. That'll back them up. It'll be second down, and it should probably be second down at about 14, maybe. Maybe a little bit more than that. It's second down and 12, moving along the line. Flags fly. And that could have been another big one off the right side. Jeter was off to the races again. He's going to get tired.
No.
No?
No. Not when you're scoring touchdowns.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
This time they'll mark the yards off against unimpeded to the quarter. That sounded awfully NFL of you.
Now, you can run 67 yards all day as long as you end up in the end zone. Sure.
All right, they'll stay in that tight formation, handoff, and boy, I tell you, the guy that got movement along the line defensively, maybe even jumped a little bit, ends up making the play for Cleveland Heights, and I don't think I have that young man's name. In fact, I do not. Give him credit for making the play.
Yeah, he had to be offside.
He was. He was. So it should be third down here in about 10. Handoff goes to the right side. It's on the field. It's second down. In my book, it was third. But that run is going to net a first down for the Titans. And I'm not sure. I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to work down my roster here, which is always difficult to do.
Yeah. Alphabetic is not a real.
Might have been LaCoy Walker.
Roster, yeah.
So we'll give him a pickup of about 12. 25?
25, yes.
Yeah, down at the bottom, LaCoy Walker.
Yeah, Walker, right.
Handoff right up the middle. Nice rip. David Leeper is going to rip that one off for about 16, maybe 17. And another first down.
Yeah.
The clock will continue to run here at George Daniel. Still love this stadium. Played here.
Yeah.
Covered a lot of games here. I love the new stadiums, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about
George Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see it turfed someday. Because
there's a debate we can have.
You don't like the new turf fields?
There's a yes and a no. If you've got an old field, an established field like this, and the Ely, I think, similar, rush off the side that time, results in a run for no gain for the Titans. That was Walker again. Those old established fields that have the crown in the middle and drain really well and have the old grass and it just doesn't go anywhere. I like that. I don't mind a real field. I don't mind it in the mud and the snow as long as the field holds up.
We want turf.
Everybody wants turf. All right. If you've got a very fast team, however, and a traditionally fast team,
then yeah.
Especially
this time of the year after the rain coming into the playoff times.
Nice run out
Leeper again, isn't
Look out.
Mr. Leeper.
Or Jeter. It might have been Jeter. They're going to put him into the end zone. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds out near the 10-yard line.
It is. Yes, it is.
That's a run of about 27.
Well, we just upped the Sandusky a few weeks ago, and, of course, that's now Cedar Point Field.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful – now –
It is.
The stands are the same. The things are the same. The press box is the same. It's just,
new
big
field.
logo and the field out there.
I sometimes would like to see mud flying around rather than little rubber chips.
Yeah.
But, little option
Here comes that option.
Flip it out to the left side and into the end zone. And touchdown goes Lorain High. Got to work down our roster here.
24.
The young man.
Charlton again.
Oh, there you go.
Terrell
Charlton scores from 10 yards out.
And you can't blame Lorain for running it up because I've always been an advocate if younger kids are scoring these kind of touchdowns, you're not running it up. He ran a little pitch, and what else are you going to do but run? You can't tell a kid don't run.
That's it. Yeah. It's in your offense.
Yeah.
It's not. The 2-point conversion play is not going to work. And this is where these games get a little bit dangerous. You get a little bit of frustration, and guys take little extra liberties on tackles and things like that. But we've only got 2.5 minutes left.
Theoretically, that's OHSA's stand on why they did this.
Yes.
Because of the injury factor at the end and the unsportsmanlike at the end. So, I don't buy it, but that's the reason they talk about it.
Yeah, but again, it's part of the game. I go back and forth at times. I think there are times when it makes a lot of sense. I think there are times 72-0. I guess I could be more okay with it than I am against a team that might be able to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Lorain High, the varsity team this year, have to come back and have to play from behind. And had they had an extra several points up on the board, would they have been able to do that if the clock's running?
It happened to Lorain 2 years ago in a playoff game at Menor, where Menor went up to the running clock, and Lorain lost probably 4 or 5 minutes, but then they came back.
Right.
And they scored 2 or 3 touchdowns, and had they had those 2 or 3 minutes, they were down by 2 scores. They could have got those 2 scores if they had those 4 or 5 minutes back. So,
And frankly, if you don't want to get beat that bad, don't get beat that bad. The tee went almost as far as the ball. In fact, it went further than the ball on the kickoff. Might have hit that one a little low. Lorain High is signaling that they came up with it, and in fact, they may have. It may be Lorain High ball again.
They got to get an offense in quick if they want to run a play.
Well, they've got 1 minute exactly, and the clock continues to run. They've got it at the 35-yard line. What are they saying here? The officials are chit-chatting it up. And if they take their time spotting the ball, we may not even get a playoff. Up there they snapped it. They're at 35-yard line. Bring it back out here.
And that wasn't a non-side kick. Lorain just recovered the ball. There's a difference there.
The effect, I suppose, is the same, but the oh boy, coach is getting dumped with water over on the sideline. I don't know if we caught that. Here goes another one. Oh yeah, Killian just got drenched. Coaches, you go 10-0.
You deserve it.
That's it.
You deserve it. Yeah.
That's absolutely it. There you go. We got to look at Coach all soaked. And we're not even going to go ahead and get that snap off. We're going to let this one finish up. And the Freshman Titans wrap up a perfect
season
with a 72-0 win over Cleveland Heights. So here you go. Build on this a little bit more. We'll kind of keep this final kind of short because it's anticlimactic. Anything that we can say right now. This you want a scoring recap?
No, you can't do that many scores. But my question is,
it was a lot.
A lot.
Here, how about this? It was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. It was 16-0 at the half, and it ends up 72-0. There's your scoring recap brought to you by Don Vincent, courtesy of Joe Bach Enterprises.
The question is, Thursday night game against Cleveland Heights. Tomorrow's going to be our varsity game against Cleveland Heights.
That's right.
How's that going to affect the varsity on both sides of the field?
You wonder.
Does Cleveland Heights get more up for the game because the freshmen got beat by 72 points? Do they get down because of that? You never know the psychology of what happens after a Thursday night game. So time will tell. I mean, we got 24 hours to see how it's going to affect us. So be there and take a look at that one.
And hopefully the Titans do some good work and they get to host a game, so they'll bring another one back here and have another opportunity to play at George Daniel
you talk
Field.
about George Daniel, the old George Daniel has hosted a lot of playoff games, but never Lorain playing in those playoff games. Back in the days when teams would come up there and they didn't get their first game at their own home field. We've had a lot of playoff games here. Now it may be a chance for hosting a game with Lorain playing in it.
And it's a great place to play.
Sure it is.
So no doubt about
that.
Sure it is. We'll go ahead and wrap things up here on TV 20 as the freshmen wrap up their season. Look forward to more good things from the varsity. Look forward to more good things from these guys, Tom.
Years to come.
Yeah, no doubt.
All these viewers out there watching this game now, think about these kids next year as 10th graders and in the following year as varsity players.
It's going to be great.
Lorain's football seems to be back.
So for everybody involved with the broadcast, Joe Bach, his crew, Bob Schlembaker, I'm going to get it right yet. Jeez, I'm sorry. Too many syllables in that one for me. Terry Trout and all the folks here from Club TV 20 who did a great job. We're going to wrap things up. 72-0. Lorain High freshmen wrap up a perfect football season.
Perfect season with a perfect game to end it with.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on TV 20.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.